The Vive is awesome, but it's also a little pricey. Thankfully, there's a lot of free games out there. Here's 50 free games in no particular order. The Lab. This is the best collection of VR minigames you will ever play. I've had this for over a year and I still keep coming back to it over and over again. You simply have to have it in your library. Covert Syndrome. 2-player, co-op, side-by-side, shooting bad guys. Pretty well made, and pretty challenging too. Definitely check it out. Google Blocks. This one recently came out, and it's basically a lightweight 3D modeling app in VR. And the best part is you can export all the models you've created as OBJ files to import into any 3D application you want. Very cool, very fun. In Your Face TD. Normally I'm not a huge fan of tower defense games, but I really love this one. It's part tower defense, part first-person shooter. After you build the towers, you can stand on top of them and fire the guns or lob the bombs yourself. Really fun. Deadly Hunter VR. This is a very polished tower defense / wave shooter. Multiple game modes, multiple ways to play, and traps to lay down. Very nice presentation. Definitely give it a try. Abbot's Book. This is a pretty creepy little demo. If you don't mind being spooked, this is definitely one to try yourself. Trapped with the Dolls. Another spooky, creepy game. If you like being spooked, you should try this one as well. The Price of Freedom is a really polished miniature spy game. I don't want to spoil it by describing it too much, but suffice it to say, you gotta try it. Belko VR, an escape room experiment. This is a movie tie-in. It's a glorified, movie promo game, but it's really well made, really solid experience. Arachnophobia warning though, if you hate spiders, you won't like this. Primal Reign. Shooting velociraptors inside a pyramid. I mean, what else is there to say? It's super fun. Blueshift is an interesting sci-fi flying simulator. You have jetpacks on your arms, and you just kind of coast around. It's actually surprisingly serene and really fun. Heap VR is basically Jenga in VR, but this solo could get a little boring, but as a party game, friends playing together and watching, this could be a real hoot. Plenty Skyhearth. This is one of the most visually beautiful free games I've played. It's a very serene setting. Ironically, you are shooting animals, but the environments are so beautiful, you need to check it out yourself. Spooky Night is a family-friendly shooter of sorts. Great sense of humor and great fun. Vintage VR is a really interesting VR experiment where previous stereoscopic images from history are displayed for you in virtual reality so you can see all the depth in them. If you're a history buff, you're gonna love this. Nevrosa Prelude. I actually couldn't finish this myself because I have some issues with spiders in VR. It's a super creepy puzzle game. The ambience is really well done, and if you don't mind spiders, you should definitely play this. Cosmic Sugar is a really simple particle simulator, but after playing with it for a few minutes, you get really engrossed in it. There's no audio inside it, but you could obviously play your own music to your enjoyment. Smash Party. Grab a bat and break stuff. Enough said. Rec Room. This game is free and it's massive and they keep developing it all the time. There's tons of little mini games from frisbee golf to paintball to co-op quests you can play. This is another one that must be in your library. Unseen Diplomacy is if a spy game was crossed with an obstacle course. It uses your VR room scale in a really fun way. The only catch is you need a lot of room to play it. I keep bumping into my own walls playing this, but if you have enough space to play it, you have to try this. Quanero. Witness a crime and then travel back and forth in time to figure out the details of what exactly happened. This was a really interesting mystery sci-fi hybrid. I want more experiences like this game in VR. Waltz of the Wizard. Combine spell ingredients and discover what spell powers you receive. This will surprise you, and this rewards the curious player. Google Earth VR. You've probably already heard of this a million times, but basically you get to explore the entire Google Earth database in virtual reality and zoom into cities and into space. Quite awe-inspiring. The VR Museum of Fine Art. This is a really incredible example of what VR could do soon and in the future. You really feel like you're there seeing the artwork and the sculptures, and some of the art pieces have incredible detail. I wish every museum had this available to us. Irrational Exuberance Prologue. For this one, I'm not going to describe it and ruin it, you just have to go through it yourself. The Cubicle. Again, this one I shouldn't describe it too much or I'll ruin the experience, it's all in the surprise. Eye of the Owl. In this experience, you're presented with a masterpiece work of art, The Garden of Earthly Delights. I can't pronounce the artist's name, but he's the one describing his artwork to you, and you're granted a magnifying glass to see the artwork in extreme detail. This was really fascinating. Trials on Tatooine. This is an official Star Wars short film experience. It is awfully short, but you really, really need to try it. Break time. Grab things and throw things and break things. It's quite satisfying. Definitely check it out. Rubber Ball. A really interesting puzzle game. In your arsenal, you have various balls that have different physics properties. You need to use all the balls to try and reach the goal to move to the next level. It gets quite challenging. In Mouse Playhouse, you get to play with a virtual tabletop and guide your little mouse friend to the cheese. Really well made and fun for the whole family. Lazerbait is a space-conquering strategy game. Don't let the simple graphics fool you. This provides hours of fun. Machine Learning is a really, really short game. It's basically 3 miniature puzzle games. But hey, it's a free download. Can't complain. The Enlightened League of Bone Builders. Just looking at the video, you can figure out what this game is about, but this is a real hoot to play in a party setting with people taking turns. Egg time. Don't be deterred by how this game looks on the surface. If you give this game a chance, you are gonna have a good time. It's also fun to watch others play. BARBAR. This game had me laughing out loud. You're a bartender serving drinks in some space station, and all kinds of strange, wild things are occurring around you. You just might love it.
Give us a drink.
Budget Cuts Demo. Even though this is a demo, this is a complete experience to play. Part stealth game, part portal game. You have to try this. I keep playing this over and over, looking forward to when this game eventually comes out. Broken Blue. This is an unconventional puzzle game. It doesn't hold your hand or explain things incredibly well, but for the patient player, this could be a really fun puzzle experience. I certainly enjoyed it. Limberjack. Try and beat the world's best time cutting down these trees. A really polished presentation. Another fun party game. My Lil Donut. This one's a little weird, but if you're into abstract 3D modeling, you could have a lot of fun with this one. Skeet VR target shooting. The name explains it all, and I gotta say I had a blast skeeting with a Tommy gun. The Night Cafe. Step inside Vincent van Gogh's mind in a world virtually created with his artwork. It's absolutely gorgeous. VRchaeology implements the motion controllers and the virtual room scale in a really interesting way that allows you to play an archaeologist. Although be warned, this one requires quite a large room scale to play. Death Dojo is one of the bloodiest games I've played in VR, but it's really exciting and gets challenging really fast. Dreamland. This was an interesting, abstract, Indiana Jones-esque experience. Your little spirit guide is speaking in Chinese and not English, but that doesn't really ruin the experience. It's quite self-explanatory. Gnomes and Goblins. From the team that brought you The Blue, this is a really polished and immersive experience. It's short, but very, very well made, and perfect for people that are new to VR. Lathe Safety Simulator. For the mechanically minded, this will be a lot of fun. I wasn't able to get very far because I'm not mechanically minded at all, but this was a really fascinating experiment with on-the-job training in virtual reality. So if this appeals to you, definitely check it out. Reaping rewards. You are the apprentice of death himself, faced with some really interesting dilemmas and challenges. I don't want to ruin too much, just check it out yourself. The Wire is basically a simple don't touch the wire game, but this could be really fun in parties or groups. And similarly, Powerlink is a don't touch the wire game with different graphics and some different challenges. Really fun in groups. Well, that's it for now. If you like what you see, please subscribe. See ya!